So, well, welcome to the group. The very first call. As you've shared, you've heard, hopefully felt, the goal really is to create an open yet safe space for all of us to, as order management community professionals, to come together and share and learn from each other. And we'll share more of that as we go along. But for today, the goal is really to get to know each other a bit, to understand each other, get to know what the vision and the thought has been behind putting this together, and just chat up, right, and learn and share, and then kind of build a backlog and evolve from there on, like we do in the current and modern world. Just a few housekeeping things, right? It'll be up. Thanks for opening up your videos. We are recording this call, and the intent is to put it back on the group. The group is a public group, so it kind of becomes open to available to LinkedIn for people to get to know about this. So that's just an FYI. Any point in time you have a question, you can drop in chat. If you feel very, very compelled, you can raise your digital hand. If you really want to speak, just unmute and speak, and we can chat up. And you're not disturbing anyone. We're just trying to have a conversation. But Zoom is just a single channel technology, so it's tricky at times. That's it. So with that said, let me go into so the first step, really, what we really wanted to do is just say it out. What's your name and where are you from? When people ask me where I am from, sometimes I go say I am where I grew up. Sometimes I say I take my company name, and sometimes I kind of say where I live currently. Am I able to, did I spotlight myself? I just want to make sure I spotlighted Jap.
No, you're not spotlighted. But I think that's okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let me launch up the poll.
The first, before we launch the first poll, just drop into the chat if you would, where you're from, your name. That's all we're going to ask of you to get going here. But just wanted to see the diverse backgrounds of folks. So if you want to just drop that into chat, we'll grab that.
Jim from Maine, lovely, lovely. Pankaj from Bangalore, Jesse from Arizona, Darpan Andover, Darko, New Jersey, welcome. Nimesh, born in India, excellent. Same club, Nimesh. Lakshman is from Brooklyn. Giovanni, Oregon, from Way of Mexico. Wow, wonderful.
Yeah, wow.
Gautam Bale. Shruti comes from Atlanta. Wow, Nick has a good answer. Born in Bulgaria, lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and works technically out of Boston. Excellent. Yeah. Ed, Pittsburgh, awesome. Wonderful. All right.
All right. So this first poll, this is great. We've got the world represented on this call. This is awesome. So the first poll that we're going to launch, you see the picture of Yoda. We're going to talk about the future of OMS, and we wanted to start it off with a lighthearted poll here. So hit us with the poll, Abhishek, and we'd like to all hear where you think the future of OMS is going.
Chap, you want Yantra to be back now?
I want Yantra back.
All right. What did you really mean by purchase by Amazon, right? I thought Amazon already has an OMS.
Well, they do, but they buy everything, right? So I thought maybe they'd buy the OMS. I mean, what's stopping them?
They buy everything, they sell everything.
Chap, I think you're confusing Amazon with Nike. Nike owns every software under the sun.
Yeah, I suppose I could have put a few other companies in there.
But that's your cue. It's your Yoda moment. So if you don't see your option, chat is where you put it in, right? If you see another future, both on a serious or on a lighter note, please go ahead and put that out. I'm sure Darpan has some suggestions over there.
I have way too many to list.
Yeah. See, future is definite. It's certain, right? It's going to happen.
Let's say time will tell.
All right. Jesse says Yantra is near and dear to my heart from the Best Buy days. True
right.
that, Jesse. Same for I think many of us. All right. I see almost everyone has participated. I'm going to end poll here and share it up. Okay, yeah. We want Yantra to make a comeback. ChatGPT, yes. Yeah. Why do anything when you have generative AI, right? Let's let ChatGPT figure it out. Yeah, e-commerce has a skin, but I think we are equally cool and sexy. You can't flock an order till you have an OMS, right? What would e-commerce do? But good.
I'm really surprised this group of experts thinks GPT is up for the task of the OMS domain. I have my doubts.
I'm hoping to see some more others answers. I know Jesse shared Yantra is near and dear, but some of you said others.
What were your? If you said others, drop it there in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, Darko says ChatGPT just represent AI.
Yeah, that's exactly how I read it also. I didn't,
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
It does. That's what it meant. That's what I meant.
Here we have a 0% purchase by Amazon is 0. Nobody.
Oh.
no one tripped on that. Yeah.
So we have a clear loser there.
Yeah.
Well, it's many of us talk about that A word, right? No, not take that A word and so on. All right, let's move on, chap.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to just do a few setups and then we'll get into some more polls here. So again, super thankful that you guys are all here. This is a great start to see all of you on this call on a Friday afternoon before a long holiday weekend. So we appreciate it. I want to tell you a story that kind of, I think, speaks to the ethos of this group. So in early June, when we were starting to think about this group and what we could do with it, we decided that I would do a video introduction of the group. And so I recorded the video that most of you have seen sitting in my yard launching the group. And it was, I got it done and we looked at it internally. And this was probably, 3 weeks ago. And I shared it with Darpin and I said, I think the video is ready to go. Why don't you take a look at it? And about 11 o'clock at night, Darpin hit the approve button on the video. And I think he just went to bed after that. And then when we got up in the morning, we saw this video was actually public and it had been seen by 4,000 people. And there were already 50 people wanting to join the group. And it was completely not our intention for that to happen. So we thought we thought that video was going to be private. We were going to have a chance to, review it, et cetera. So all of a sudden the group was live. So I think that kind of speaks to the fun that we want to have and just the casual nature of this group. So that's why I shared that story. But, when we started this group, our premise was a bit different. You would expect to see all of these things that you see on screen here about a LinkedIn group. Many of you have been part of LinkedIn groups before. But you don't level the playing field by yourself. And so while we need some structure and support to get this group moving that we're providing, our intention is that all of you are really making this group successful and making it self-sustaining through your contributions and your conversations. And we really want the collective group to run this group. And when we think about why did we do this, it was really pretty simple. It was just, we wanted to start more conversations that folks might not have otherwise, leading us to be better at what we do. And I think the OMS community is still a pretty small niche community. And we felt like a group like this was just perfect for a group of folks that were this passionate about this space. And the other thing I said in my open, I reiterate, I think the OMS has finally gotten its due as a part of the e-commerce omni-channel landscape. And I think with that visibility comes added responsibility. And so we wanted to create this group so we could all get better at what we do with that increased visibility about the OMS domain. All right, but we're going to talk about roles next. I think we have 176 people that have joined this group since we started. So that is amazing. That is beyond our expectations. So that's an awesome start. These are the roles that we were targeting when we came up with this group. If any of you feel like we've missed some key roles, please drop them in chat. We can talk about them. But one of the things I wanted to say is in terms of, obviously this group's going to grow because of all of you, and you're going to refer people in. We did want to put an experience level on this group in terms of number of years experience in the domain. We didn't want it to be 10 because, we obviously want some folks that, are just getting started on their journey, but we do want folks that know the domain well. So 5 years of experience in general is what we said we want in terms of someone being able to join the group. And I will tell you that there's been a number of people that we have not admitted to the group that are coming from, that either don't have that experience or are coming from outside the domain completely. So we wanted this domain to be focused on OMS. And so this is not a last mile forum. It's not a broader supply chain forum. It's going to be focused on OMS. And obviously OMS touches a lot of things. We get that. But as you think about content and just keep that in mind, that we really wanted the folks that are in this group should be at their core an OMS practitioner, whether they're a retailer or a solution provider. So Abhishek, do you want to add any comments there on the groups?
Yeah, 5 is just a number. I think if you feel that there is someone who's really contributing, because years is not always a measure of expertise, right? There could be someone. So if you feel there's someone who should join the group, please by all means, send a note, send us a referral, and we'll be happy to have. I think it's more of, like I said, like Chap said, creating that level of experience so that it continues to be meaningful, at large. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So we'll just talk about what is the group and what is it not. We were intentional on limiting the number of rules. We want to be very light there, and as we evolve, we'll adjust as needed. But I would say the primary rule that we have as we start this is, and this kind of ties into why we're moderating things as well, which is just we want to avoid this turning into a sales pitch spam landscape. I'm sure many of you have been part of groups where you see are salespeople on LinkedIn posting their offering to address solutions. And, we obviously understand that we all do business together and that someone may have a problem on this forum that someone's got a solution that solves for. And if you want to engage with that member one-on-one and do so, absolutely, right? That this is meant to start those kinds of conversations, but we don't want people advertising their products and services on the forum. And so, as I said, that's why we're going to moderate. In the beginning, we may decide not to moderate, as we go, and we find that people are following that intent. We will likely stop moderating posts. But in the beginning, as you create posts, we will review it and then we'll publish it to the group, ensuring that it fits within those guidelines. So that's really the only.
No more 11 p.m. approvals. No more 11 p.m. approvals. So the video was just going to go live just like that. I just hope we don't have another TikTok here, right?
Exactly. That very, very light on the rule set. And in terms of this being public, as we said, we want you guys to get recognition on your thought leadership. That's one of the reasons that this is public. So everything that happens here is in the public domain. We felt like we wouldn't be true to the comment leveling the playing field if we didn't make this out in the public domain. And so that's why we made that decision. The other thing, as we talk about moderation, is in the future, we would love if people in the group would take on moderation roles. And we are totally open to that. We want this community to be, governed by all of us. And so if anybody's interested in taking on a moderation role, more than happy to spread that love and have you guys participate with that. So those are the ground rules. We are going to now move on to our next poll.
All right, let's do a quick poll on what industry did we all come from. Again, it's rather simple, right? Either we are a retailer or we are a provider. I thought hard on the fourth option. If there is one, please educate. Please put in chat. If there's some segment of the Venn diagram that we are missing, please do put it out. Okay, 65% brand B2B retailer, 24% software, 38% services. So that's about, I think almost everyone is done. So I see about 60% industry and about 40%. Wait a minute, why isn't this adding up to 100?
It's multiple choice, so some people might be both. Yeah.
Oops. Oops. All right. So yeah, so it's about 60-60. I think it's a 60, 45-55. That's what we see in a group as well in terms of the signups. Overall group 170 plus. We see about 50% folks joining in from industry, and 50% from the provider background. So thanks again. Thanks for joining and thanks for kind of contributing today. I'm going to end the poll right here. James says multiple choice is great. No one stays in one place. Thanks, James. Appreciate the empathy.
Yeah.
I didn't share the results, right? So here are the results. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I didn't share. So that's how it adds up. Okay. Stop sharing. And we moved. So we've been speaking to many of you, requesting on what is it that that you are looking for, right? Just to, in a true product sense, create a backlog of sorts and see what is it, what matters, kind of prioritize that. And so many of you have shared different ideas towards it. I know I see Nick, you're online. You're looking to go brainstorm general ideas, right? So we want to be able to create that space where we can discuss ideas openly and then pick everyone's brains, not eat those, and then kind of try to come to some new things over there. Vinay, you've shared that you're excited about joining this group because you can listen and talk about order management. I know Anuj mentioned that he's keen to understand how would order management as a domain and planning as a domain come together, how to really create that closed loop on availability. Again, if there's something that you don't see here, many of you have said learning from other gurus, AI, ML, and OMS. Darko, you mentioned that early on in the call. So anything that you don't see here, or any other take that you might have, this is your moment to, not that you won't have more chances, but yeah, you're welcome to go put that on chat. We would love to learn and kind of, go make this collaborative and try to see how do we focus on things that matter, right?
Yeah.
Chap, what's your top three?
Yeah. I think when I look at these things, I think that it's, what I'd really love to see are people learning from each other, versus, there's a lot about the future and that's what I see here. But my hope is that people can use this space as a way to find somebody that's in the similar situation, and then go get educated with a peer that's doing something similar in a different industry. obviously non-competitive, but yeah, that's my hope. Anybody else want to drop anything in here? All right. We're going to launch our next poll.
And it's okay. It's okay. We all want new roles. We all want to grow.
Yeah.
We all want to go convince our leadership for bigger, meatier projects, and that's okay as well. One thing that we were brainstorming is that almost 25 years ago, the Agile Manifesto was created. One of the dreams I had is, can we get together and create that true, what is the future OMS manifesto, right? How it might come together and kind of really go create a vision that the industry can at least go listen into, tune into. You're welcome to come, if you were to go share. I see, connect with people from diverse implementation experience, learn more about OMS business practices, right? There's this whole business and tech. Business aspires to learn more about tech because the tech is changing so fast. And as tech folks, we always need to go get a better sense of the business, right? So kind of learn from each other. That's why we are hoping for this community to be a cross breed, kind of a mix of both those backgrounds. Anything else? I see a comment from James coming in, applying OMS concepts to novel use cases and industries. James, that's interesting. Maybe when later in the flow, would love to hear your thoughts about what novel use cases were you thinking of? Okay, got 20 out of 23, 86% participation. Any last ones you're still thinking about to hit submit? Going 1, 2, and done. Right, here are the results. I see learn what others have implemented recently, 45%, right? We are all trying to learn from each other to see where the industry is headed. Then connect from diversity, 64% winner. Latest OMS tech, 55%. Definitely new ideas and future OMS manifesto, 32%. Yeah, great. I see a comment from Darko, redefining the OMS thought space. Wonderful. I think that could be something that we should think about. So again, what we do is we'll just sum all these up and put it together in a context and share it back. We'll maybe extend this poll to the LinkedIn group to kind of go and create a wider view of folks who couldn't join today. Okay, next is the other way around. What is it that you would like to give to the group or contribute to the group? The poll is up. You might come and say, okay, I want to share my OMS stories. Not all might be fine and dandy. We all have challenges. OMS go lives are not similar to that 11 p.m. go live that Chap spoke on earlier. You want to contribute, write posts, absolutely welcome. Share your success stories. You're just here for the ride, that's okay as well. Chap, go on, you're trying to say something.
No. I was just going to comment on, I'd like to just give a shout out to Nick and share his success story and his podcast that we all just saw. So kudos to you, Nick. That was terrific. We all love it. Again, OMS, I think, is really getting the spotlight that it's finally been due. So it's fun to see podcasts like that. So kudos.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's see, where are we on the poll? I see 22 out of 24, 91% participated. Right, all 24 out of 24. So I'm going to end poll and share the results. Okay, I see 67% being participate in offline discussions. Like Chap said, absolutely welcome. Share my OMS stories, host a topic, 7 out of 24. Please drop us a note on what topics you might have, or if you just want to go come on board and host it, that's great as well. Cool, all good. Any other ideas? Again, this is not the end of it. Please feel free to drop us a note. Things strike you at on your morning jog, that's fine. Just send us a note. Right, I'm going to stop sharing.
All right.
Right, so this is an opportunity to just open up the space before we get into the discussion on OMS and ERP. A couple of things that we want to align on. How often do you think we should meet? Again, you can unmute and say, or you can put it in chat. Just want to get a sense of the frequency that it's right. It's not too far out where it becomes like, we don't know each other anymore. We know it can't be something that's very frequent. So would love to know, how many of you think for it to be a month? Raise your physical or digital hand. All right, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many of you think for it to be twice a month? Okay, Jesse thinks, someone said Scrum at 4 a.m. James. Yeah, just open the bridge. I'm going to show. I get up at 3:45 a.m. every day, so I'm going to for sure join that 4 a.m. bridge. But Das says once a month. Das, you're happy. Just seeing each other's faces once a month. And I get to see his face every day, so there is that. Lakshman says time zone. What? So yeah, this is we want to make sure it's comfortable, and I know it's probably drinks time, beyond drinks time in Bangalore. For folks who are joining from there, what time do you think? It's usually I've found 10 a.m. Eastern to be a time where many global calls get scheduled. It is wee hours for someone in China. Not wee hours, it's like 10 a.m., 10 p.m. in China, but there are suggestions on time. Darko, you said a bit earlier in India, sure, absolutely. So that was that. Is Friday okay? Right, I see nods, head nodding. Any other points? You're welcome to unmute and share. This is that moment. We'll just open the house and see if you would like to share anything. Say good things, not so good things. All noted. All okay. All welcome.
This is the fun community part where we get to be a community.
Yeah, I think we joked around about a Scrum, but just from an agility standpoint, I think it's something we're going to learn as we go. So we can only take our best guess right now and put it into action. And then once we get rolling, I mean, some people who are wanting it to be longer than monthly. I think monthly ended up being kind of the middle there itself, but some people want it longer than monthly, may end up reeling themselves into monthly. Or end up proving themselves right as we learn through here. And then people wanted it more frequently, same thing. And so I think we land on something, we try it, and then feedback again and get to ours right.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
makes sense.
Any other thoughts?
I'm curious, is there anyone on the call that came into this kickoff call and now we're 30 minutes in and they're saying, what is going on here? They haven't talked about anything that I was expecting them to talk about. Is there anyone in that headspace, or are we where you thought we'd be?
Do I count, Chad?
What's that?
Do I count?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I'm just so happy to see so many faces I haven't seen in like so long. I've just been private messaging a lot of them and saying hi.
And I see how conveniently you've not messaged me even once.
So this is Nimesh here. I was just curious to kind of know, how do we kind of measure, I'll not say the success of it, but whatever we intend to do right now, right? It's really progressing well in coming weeks or months. How do we ensure see, we all are busy, right, in our life and our clients. And how do we ensure that this initiative really made success?
Anybody else?
I don't have a silver bullet answer, but I can open it up to, and this is a conversation, right?
It's just it's a question to everyone, not to you.
I think it's the data that we have, right? We polled on what we want to get out of it. We polled on who we are and everything else too. I think that's the data we have to go off of right now, right? So we can put it on, we can schedule a timing, and then we can say, are we getting out of what we said we wanted to get in this timeline, those pieces? And I'm sure a lot more is going to come up in between. I mean, even today, after we do the ERP versus OMS discussion, we may have somebody be like, hey, we want to also talk about these things go forward or something else. So
Yeah.
I think we've captured what is important for us to be able to come back and at least say, are we feeling like the group has accommodated our ability to reach this value or not, and just keep growing from there.
The thing I wanted to add is like, if at all we wanted to keep going good, we need to find good, interesting topics where the knowledge is shared, and also it is like a learning curve for everybody, right? So we need to get into a good discussion topics so that this is keep going.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks, Vinay.
Yeah, the engaging content is going to be the number one, I think, in my mind. Do we have engaging content, and are people engaging on that content? That would be the success criteria in my mind. And so, as I said, we've got a backlog of ideas that we've tried to come up with, like this ERP topic, but we're really excited to see, what topics you guys can give us that we can bat around. So.
Darko says that we measure engagement on publications. Absolutely. I think the output being relevant will be, the engagement will be testament. This is a public group though. I mean, so the engagement is not just the group, that's by and large. I think getting together as a physical, in a physical or in a same time space is one thing, but one can think about creating outcomes, right? I've always thought about, hey, what will it take to create a standard, a backlog on OMS, right? What that, like an open source, right? So there could be so many things that we might want to think about again, but it's balancing what we can give and what's relevant, right? So it'll be interesting journey. We are committed to it. We are hoping to. But someone was saying something. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem. Just wanted to clarify that I feel for the past 20 years, OMS has been sitting in a place where we need to adapt to environment. I think with all the changes that are happening, this is like the time for us to influence the environment. And the best way to do that is by sharing what we have learned and agreed. So instead of us adopting, maybe we can, educate the rest of the industry and maybe we lead the conversation in some topics. And that's what I think when I say engagement on publications, we align on something, we find it's interesting, we publish that, and we get feedback from the rest of the stakeholders within the industry. And that's how a dialogue starts between the different approaches within the retail industry as a whole. Because we can agree on everything OMS related, but if you don't get support from our upstreams and downstreams, then we can agree as much as we want. That's how I see it.
Great.
Oh, yeah,
Great point.
Customer, yeah, absolutely. Great point. All right. Anything else that you'd like to share? I know many of you are kind of on the edge in terms of the next part of the topic today, the first meeting. So just getting to know each other and getting the context, getting on the same page. But yeah, anything else that you'd like to share? Again, we'll get more opportunities to do that. All right, with that,
all right,
over to the
cool.
chap. Yeah.